what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Brie and I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm going to be doing a video all about some things that I wish I knew before coming to the University of Alabama, or kind of like some things that I think are important to consider when you're deciding on picking a college. I know it's early February. Some people have already made their decisions about college. When I was in February of my senior year, I had no idea where I wanted to go. I hadn't even toured Bama or any school yet, so I was still really in the dark. But if you're a senior right now, or if you're a junior trying to decide like what schools you want to tour, I think this video will just kind of be helpful for you. I know that this is something that I would have really appreciated watching. I did end up watching a lot of videos about the schools that I was interested in, mostly just like some day in the lives to get a better idea of what the school was like. I also would watch like some videos on the admissions pages for the schools, but those are a little bit harder to get a true feel about the school for, because obviously the university is going to make their school look as great as possible because they want you to enroll there. But I kind of want to give you guys like the pros and cons of Alabama. I'm a second semester junior here. I'm a news media major. I have all kinds of videos about the University of Alabama, both day in the lives and things that you should know. But I thought I'd just do kind of like a refreshed one now that I am in my third year of college. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I think you need to know about Alabama before coming here is that it is a very big school, and everyone will tell you that, and so that's probably not news to you. If you look it up, I think it says there are about 40,000 students at Alabama. I think that's including undergraduate and graduate and maybe online. That could be wrong. But I will say it does feel like a big school. Like there's a lot of students here, but anywhere I go I see people that I know, which is honestly like very comforting. It really does feel like a small community once you're here for a few months. So while that can seem like a big intimidating number, in truth it's a really good thing because there are so many different people on this campus, and every year I get to know more and more people and see more and more familiar faces. So as big and scary as it is, I really don't think that that's a super negative aspect of the school. I come from a high school where I graduated with 40 kids, so being from a small town and a small high school, I knew that I wanted to go somewhere where there was a lot of students. That was something like I was unwilling to budge on. I went into college thinking I was gonna go to school for musical theater, and when you're considering musical theater programs, a lot of really good musical theater schools are very tiny and don't have that many students, and for some people that's amazing and works perfectly for them, and I totally understand that. But for me, I wanted to go somewhere that there was a lot of students and I could meet tons of different people. My class sizes really do range. I've had some classes with like 200 students, and I've had some classes with like 5. So it really just depends on your major and what classes you take. I'm also in the honors college, so that has given me some opportunities to take classes with less people. I actually kind of like classes that are bigger in size just because I feel less pressure like having to talk in front of the class, and normally kind of just do things on your own, which I usually tend to like. In terms of getting to know your teachers, that's kind of just on you. You kind of have to take the initiative to go to office hours or schedule meetings with them or ask them about questions for your work or your papers or whatever. You can get to know your teachers even if you're in a big class, so I wouldn't let that sway you away. I just think that this is something not necessarily good or bad. It varies for the person, but I do think it's important to recognize that this is a very big school. It's a state school and it's very popular for students, so just keep that in mind. If you are somebody that doesn't like being surrounded by a lot of people, maybe keep that in consideration. But if you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing, it's a huge pro in my opinion. The next thing I think is really important to talk about is the financial aspect of Alabama. Now, I would be lying to you if I said the University of Alabama was a cheap school. It's not, but I will say that the University of Alabama offers really, really good scholarships. I think you're automatically considered for scholarships when you apply to the school, which is really based on GPA and ACT/SAT scores. If you're looking to get the max amount of money you can, I would absolutely say take the ACT or SAT, because that will get you the scholarship money above anything else. If you're national merit too, that gets you like so many amazing opportunities at the school financially. Being in the honors college, I think you're able to get maybe a couple of extra scholarships as well. And every year while you're in college, you can apply to additional scholarships, but I wouldn't bank on that just because you don't know if you're gonna get that. So I would say apply to the school and see what scholarship money you get. Don't assume that you're gonna get anything more than that. But Bama does give really good scholarships. Like anytime you ask someone on campus like, oh, why'd you come here? Most of the time it's Alabama's a beautiful campus and they gave me a lot of money. So that is definitely something to consider. I would definitely say apply and just see what kind of financial aid that you get. Alabama for out-of-state students is a lot of money. If you're from Alabama, I don't think in-state tuition is terrible, and if you get some scholarship, tuition can be very doable, but I would say that money is definitely something you need to consider before coming here, just because it can be a very big financial burden. So I would say definitely get your GPA up and definitely take the ACT, SAT. I took the ACT 3 times and then got the score that I wanted, and I also got like a tutor, and I worked really hard to get my ACT score up so that I could get financial opportunities to attend college without going into debt. The next thing I want to talk about is the Tuscaloosa environment. This is actually something going into college was like the biggest downfall for me. Little backstory. I originally applied to 33 schools. Crazy, I know. And Bama, I think, was number 31. I was so confused where I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go for musical theater, so I applied to all these like super tiny colleges just because I was like, oh, well, they have a theater program, so I should just apply. I realized that I just wasn't happy with any of my options. I was really dead set on moving to New York and doing college there, and those schools are just really, really expensive and hard to make work. And I started realizing that maybe that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do in college exactly. And so I started exploring other options, and my mom's friend told my mom that I could get a good scholarship at Alabama with my ACT score. So I applied, got in, and then my mom was like, okay, well, we have to at least tour it. And I was very like against doing that. I really was like, I don't want to go here, like I don't think I'm gonna like it. I came and toured Alabama. I fell in love with the campus. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. My biggest downfall about the school was it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's in Alabama. There's really not a big city close by. That was one of the big reasons I didn't want to be here. I've grown to love Tuscaloosa. I think it is the perfect place to go to college. It feels like a comfy, cozy hometown feel. There really is everything you need here. Like, there really has never been a time where I'm like, oh dang it, like Tuscaloosa doesn't have it. We pretty much have everything, and it's not like a big overwhelming city. I think if I would have gone to college in a city, I would have been a little bit overwhelmed. This feels like a very wonderful atmosphere. I know it very well. I can get around. I love the Strip, downtown Tuscaloosa, the shopping, and then if you do need like something in a city, which I don't really know exactly what you need, but Birmingham is only an hour away. I don't go to Birmingham a lot. I thought I would go more than I do. I'm not a big fan of like the city of Birmingham itself. I like the outskirts a lot. I really think that Tuscaloosa is an amazing place to go to college. The whole town is kind of centered around like the college experience, and it's definitely a college town, but I actually really like that. I discovered during my college like touring experience that I wanted the college feel. There's only one time in your life that you're gonna be like going to college and having this experience, so I wanted to get the most out of that. I wanted it to kind of be like what you see in the movies, and Tuscaloosa and Alabama is absolutely like the quintessential college environment experience, and so I love that. I love Tuscaloosa. If you want me to do like a more in-depth video talking about like my favorite things to do in Tuscaloosa, my favorite restaurants, my favorite shops, anything like that, I'm happy to do it. Actually, thinking about it, this might be a good YouTube video. If you want that, let me know. I would say just come here with your family, tour not only the campus but Tuscaloosa as a whole. It's really a beautiful place, and I feel so comfy here. I would say if you are coming from somewhere that is further away where you'd have to fly, do keep in mind that the airport is an hour away, and that is something that people really struggle with. Alabama doesn't have any like great transportation to and from the airport. It is expensive, and it is not necessarily like the most reliable thing. So a lot of times if you don't have a car, you'll have to like pay someone to drive you to the airport, or like hitch a ride with someone, or just pay like an astronomical amount of money to take a shuttle. So I would say if you're coming from far away, either take your car or at least consider the fact that you are gonna have to pay out of pocket for some of those expenses as well. Okay, I wanted to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Ayuga Yoga. Ayuga is a yoga sport brand focused on comfort, committed to providing yoga enthusiasts with the ultimate comfortable experience, high value products and services. Of course, I had to get the pink one. These are truly the best Lululemon dupes I've seen. They run between $20 and $30, so they're going to be a lot cheaper than typical athletic wear. These have pockets in them, which I'm obsessed with. They're also fleece lined, so they're going to keep you really warm. I also got another pair of the Heat Lab fleece line leggings. So cute. This color is beautiful. Also, they have pockets. I'm obsessed. These are so cute and very easy to move around. And then these two pieces are probably my favorite things that I got. This is the Butter Lab V-neck adjustable tank. I'm obsessed with this color. And then the straps are adjustable, so if I want it to be lower or higher up, I can easily change that, which I love. And then these leggings, I'm literally obsessed with them. These are the Power Tight Sandwich Active leggings. They're super comfy. They also have pockets on them. These are so cute. I would definitely wear this together. If you want to get your very own Ayuga Yoga products, you can use my discount code BRIE25 for 25% off of your next purchase. Thank you so much to Ayuga Yoga. I love you guys so much, and I'm literally obsessed with these products. So I would be crazy to make a video about the University of Alabama without talking about sports and the culture surrounding sports here. It is a huge part of the school. It's something that people come thousands of miles away to experience. Football games at Alabama. I came to school not being a super big sports girl. I didn't grow up going to football games or really any type of sporting event, so that was something that I wasn't like super excited about, but I have grown to absolutely love it. Game days are like the best day in Tuscaloosa. Everyone's so excited. I love the energy in Tuscaloosa. The games are like electric, and not only just football games, like basketball games, gymnastics meets, baseball games. Like there's so much that this school has to offer with sports. I love how much everyone gets into it, and it's just like such a fun thing here. I absolutely love it, and I think if you have any interest in sports whatsoever, you're gonna love it. And even if you don't, you're probably gonna grow to love it just because of like the excitement surrounding football and all the other sports here. I'm actually now a member of athletic production program, Crimson Tide Productions, so I get to do behind the scenes for a lot of sporting events. Last weekend I got to work a basketball game on the court and also in the control room, and then just yesterday I got to work the women's basketball game from Bryant Denny in the control room as well. So I have grown not only to love sports, but like to get involved with them in some way, which is super, super cool. And so I've grown to really, really like sports and appreciate the energy it brings to this campus. I think that regardless about if you love sports or not, that the sporting aspect should definitely be a pro for you. The next thing I want to talk about is Greek life. So Greek life is huge here. I would say that the University of Alabama is one of the biggest schools for Greek life, especially in the SEC. I would say if it's something that you're even remotely interested in, consider it and rush. I really didn't think that like I was gonna be like a perfect sorority girl, and I really didn't know anything about the process going into it. Like I said, I'm from a small town in Louisiana. I didn't really know that many people in Greek life, so I went into it completely blind, and I didn't even know if it was going to be something that I would enjoy. And I can wholeheartedly say that being a Pi Phi and just being in Greek life altogether has been one of the best experiences of my college career. I really don't think that it would be the same without it. It's not to say that you can't enjoy college or have an amazing experience without Greek life. I would just say definitely look into it, because when you come to Bama, it's definitely like something at the forefront of starting college. So I would say at least give it a try, look into it if it's something that you're curious about. Like I said, I felt really unsure about it before rushing, and I absolutely have loved my experience. I know it's not for everyone, but I would say if it's something that you think maybe you could like, to give it a try. It's just given me so many connections on campus. It has made this school with 40,000 plus students feel a little bit smaller. Learned about so many different programs on campus and been connected to different things through my sorority. I've been given leadership opportunities. I served on leadership last year as the director of fraternity heritage, and so it's just given me a lot of really awesome opportunities on campus. I live on campus in the sorority house, which has been absolutely wonderful, and it's just given me like that full college experience that I was really craving. So I would say give it a shot. I have a lot of videos on my channel talking more about sorority and Greek life, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. With that being said, if Greek life just isn't for you, or if you're just curious about other ways to get involved on campus, I would definitely say look into some campus organizations. I think we have something like 500 plus organizations on campus, which is crazy. People really are involved in so many different things, which is amazing. We have something called Get On Board Day at the beginning of the year, which is kind of like this event that takes place on the quad where a bunch of organizations like have little tables, and you can just walk around and sign up to go to like the first meeting or get to know people on leadership and see what all you want to get involved in. Honestly opened a lot of doors for me because I just was able to like know some of the organizations that existed on campus, and then you kind of just hear about things through the grapevine, through other people, through just things that you see around campus. So I would say if you're like dead set on going to a school, start looking into organizations that you can be involved in on campus. There are so many at Alabama, I couldn't even begin to name all of them. Bama really does have everything, so whatever you want to get involved in, I'm sure we have a club that's perfect for you. The next thing that I think is important to talk about is picking a major. I think this is probably like the most important thing academically. So I was applying to schools as a journalism major, but I really liked that Alabama had a news media specific major. I didn't really see that at a lot of other schools, which I really liked because it's like exactly what I want to go into, working in like news media broadcast side of things. And then I do still get to do like design classes and like writing classes and more journalistic classes, but my major is specifically focused on like the broadcast on-air side of things, which I really like. I've had an absolute great experience at my major. I love news media. I love the communication information sciences school. I also think that going to a school like this, there are just more opportunities. Like I'm able to get involved with something like the sporting program here that's so well known, and I don't think I would have that opportunity if I went somewhere without sports or like a smaller school. I think that Bama's really known for like engineering and business. That could totally be wrong. They have really everything. So I would say just look into the program that you're interested in, see what classes you're gonna have to take, and just see if that's something that aligns with what you wanna do. Another thing to consider is housing. So freshman year, you're gonna live in a dorm. I had a wonderful dorm experience. I know that that's not always the case. I know people with like roommate horror stories, or they hated their dorm. I lived in Prez, which was wonderful for me. It is a little bit further away from everything. However, I did get my own bedroom. I shared a bathroom. Loved my roommates, had an incredible experience. They do have like traditional dorms here. That's gonna be like Burke, Patey, John England. I can make a whole video talking about that. I knew that I wanted my own room. Tutwiler is one of the most popular dorms here for girls. It's an all-girls dorm. It's new. They built it in 2022, I think. You do share a bedroom and a bathroom with one other girl, but a lot of girls do like that kind of traditional dorm experience. Are a lot closer to everything. You're right next to sorority row, so girls really like it for that reason. But to me, Prez just kind of outweighed wanting to live in Tut, just because I did really want my own room. I just wanted like a kitchen and a living room and all that, which you don't really get in Tut. So I would say just watch some like YouTube videos and kind of get a feel for where you want to live. If you have the luxury of getting to decide what kind of dorm you want to live in, if you apply really late, that could hinder your chances. I was really lucky because my roommate like pulled me into her earlier pick date. I would say if you're down to like your top 2 or 3 schools, maybe just like submit the enrollment fee. That way you have like the flexibility of getting to choose an earlier pick date, because if you decide super last minute, you might not have the luxury of getting to choose where you live, and you might end up in a dorm that is not like exactly what you want. I do think that your freshman year housing situation is very, very crucial to making or breaking your experience. That's not to say that if you get a bad dorm that you're gonna have a horrible freshman year. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you want your dorm to kind of be like your safe place, your little like haven, your home away from home. And my freshman year dorm was that for me. So I just think that that is really important to consider when you're enrolling into college. I also think that distance from home is something to consider. I actually thought that 4.5 hours was like gonna be too close to home, that I was gonna be expected to go home like every single weekend, and I can tell you that that is not the case. I really don't go home that often, but I do like knowing that I could go home if I wanted to. Like this upcoming weekend, I'm going home to see my little brother for his birthday, and like I wouldn't be able to do that if I lived, you know, like 12, 13 hours away. I'm not someone that gets easily homesick, so if you are someone that gets easily homesick, that's definitely something to consider. But if you're like, hey, I really don't care, like I want to be away from home, I think that you're gonna be totally fine here. But if you're someone like me and you're like, oh, I really want it to go further away than like 4.5 hours, I think you're gonna be totally fine. It's like pulling teeth for me to go home sometimes. I like love being here, and I never want to like miss a weekend with my friends in Tuscaloosa. But it is nice to have the flexibility to go home if I want to. One thing that I thought I really wasn't gonna like about Alabama was I came into college really wanting to meet people from everywhere. I didn't want it to just be like a southern school, and I really was wrong when I thought that like Alabama was like only a Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi school. It's really not. Like there are truly people from everywhere, and that's amazing. Like, one of my best friends is from California, so you really do get to meet people from everywhere, which I really appreciate and really like. I would say that this school really does draw people from all parts of the country, East Coast, West Coast, and everything in between, which I really appreciate because I love meeting people from new places. And when else are you going to be in an environment where people from across the country and even more? There are a couple girls in my sorority that are from other countries as well, so I think that that's just really awesome, and it's something that I didn't really want to give up when I went to college, and I can gladly say that University of Alabama absolutely delivers, and they get people from everywhere, which I think is really special. And the last thing I'll say is one of my favorite things about this school is just the school spirit. Everywhere you go, you hear people saying "Roll Tide." It's kind of just like the culture and language here, and that's something that I really like. The whole community here is so enthusiastic and energetic, and we all love the school, and we all love the sports and the environment and the people, and it's just such an awesome place to be. The energy here is infectious, and it's something that I really like and appreciate. So if you're someone who really likes school spirit, or is super energetic or enthusiastic, or just want to be somewhere where it feels like home, I would say that this school is perfect for you. Obviously, this school isn't for everyone. I know people that don't have a great experience here, and that's totally okay, but I would say at least come and tour it. I didn't actually do an official tour. I just came and walked around and like saw the campus and fell in love. So I would say even just doing that, coming to campus during like the school day if you can, and just kind of see like what's going on and see the activity and just the energy that we have here, I think it's something really special, and I think that will really stand out to you. But I would say if you're even watching this video and you're just like wanting to learn more about Bama, at least give it a try, because it has become one of my favorite places in the world, and I would just love to help you find your happy place here as well. So if you have any questions about Alabama, about my college process, about Greek life, Tuscaloosa, truly anything, I'm happy to make another video or answer your questions down below. I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I love you guys so much, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Mwah! Bye!